Morning. I know there has to be people out there that have projects that you've been working on and things that you want to achieve and accomplish. Here's some more tips and tactics and tools for us to use. We all have them. We all have something that we are wanting to achieve, right? To finish, to have that get that feeling that we have done what we said we were going to do. So, grab your coffee or tea and come hang out with me. I've had coffee already, coffee this morning, so I've switched up to some tea because I have some projects that I'm working on today. Risers, I don't know about you, but let me, uh, as always, show up and I'm completely honest with you guys and open. Uh, you know, has anybody ever heard of, and I know everybody has, but when you're 3 feet from gold, those guys with pickaxes and they're tunneling. So that you've seen a little maybe cartoon kind of thing about these guys where they're almost there. You can see where the chamber holding that gold is. And the guy underneath, the one on the bottom, he's like almost, it shows just how far he has got to go to get through that wall to get to the gold. And then the other person above him in the chamber above him, it still has quite a ways to go. So the message in that is don't give up. You're so close. You are so close. But what happens, what stands in the way? Those creeping doubts come in, right? Those things that stop us in our tracks. The oh, I can't do this. It's never going to work. I've been at this for so long. It's not going to happen. I'm not worthy of the having this happen. If it does happen, what am I going to do now? All those things, those thoughts creep into our heads, and everyone deals with this. This is something everyone deals with at one point of time or another. So don't believe it's just you. Don't let the enemy get in your head. Don't let the devil steal your dreams. Don't let him crush your soul. Don't let it happen. So yesterday, I was talking about putting on the armor of God, right? Putting on those pieces of protection, because we're all facing different battles at different points in regards to different things in our lives. But we know if something goes off balance, because we all have these 8 plates that we have to keep spinning at all times. There's our physical health, our intellectual health, our environmental health, not just ecological environment, but our home, our life, our work, those environments, our occupational health, what we're doing to create income, our social health, which is our relationships, our emotional health, which is our mental health, our spiritual health, which is our journey with our religion, and our financial health. And every single one of us, I don't care who you are, where you're from, what nationality, what sex you are, none of this stuff matters. We all have to face all these things and keep all these plates spinning. But, and it's a struggle. Anybody that tells you that they have everything all handled and everything in balance in their life, I'm going to call them out. They're full of SHI up to their eyeballs. None of us have everything totally under control at all times consistently. And again, I'll call that out. You don't have to worry. I'll call people out on that. But risers, again, going back to, putting on that armor to battle against that, because we are our own worst critics. We're the naysayers against ourselves. those little voices sitting, of those, right? You got the angel and devil sitting one on one side and one on the other, whispering things in your ear. But that devil plants those seeds that are so detrimental to us. And then whatever we see going on in the world and the stuff that's going on out there that is associated with the people who want all the power and the people that are greedy and their manipulation of what's going on here on this planet. We know it. We see it happening with our own eyes, but then we feel we don't have any control over it. So risers, what I want to say today is, it came into my mind. I've got a message this morning. My phone, it's been scanned for malware, and nothing is showing. It's not showing any malware showing up. We need to do scans, right? We need to do these scans, not just for our phones and for our computers for viruses and malware. We need to do it for our own minds and our own hearts. We need to take some time to scan ourselves for those things that maybe have been implanted into us from an outside source, that's meant to do us harm or detriment, instead of bringing us peace, love, and joy in our lives. Risers, that's what I want to talk about this morning is doing those scans for ourselves and doing it on a regular basis. Because when we let those viruses and that malware start imprinting in our hearts and in our minds, we're letting it control. We're letting it take control over our lives. If we are going to allow anything or anyone in there, it should be our Lord God. It's not out of greed. Anything that he does is not out of greed. And it's not out of power, because it's out of love. It's out of love. He's our good father, and he is only there to because he's wanting us to be able to live lives that are fulfilling, rewarding, and bring us joy and happiness. He isn't there to create chaos, havoc, and pain for us. Okay, risers, get rid of that malware and those viruses that have been imprinted in our hearts and in our minds. Okay, risers, until next time, continue to rise above the challenges that life bring your way, and have a great